What the are we doing next week? So, B,
Yes,
just really quick. We call everything in our household DFM
we do.
because my last name is Marr, which gives us the M. My kid's last name is Marr.
Right.
Your last name is Festa, so that's the F. And your kids are DiLorenzo,
Yes,
which you used to be.
I used to be.
Yes, you were a DiLorenzo when you're married.
Yep.
So you were former Mrs. DiLorenzo.
Yes.
And yet today, sitting next to you, we have new Mrs. DiLorenzo.
We do.
Do you want to introduce?
This is Ryan. Hi.
Hi. Here we are.
That was the worst intro. This is Ryan. Who is Ryan?
This is Ryan, and she is married to my ex, Anthony.
So we have your ex-husband's new wife,
Yes.
stepmother of your children.
Stepmother of my children.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
With this podcast, we constantly have been talking about our blended family and how weird of a life we lead. Different life.
Yes.
We lead than
Not
most
traditional.
people. And I have to say, we probably bring up your name, Anthony's name, at least once a day, if not more,
Yeah.
because we're constantly doing schedules with you as well.
Yes. We're all intertwined on the daily.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you are the stepmom, so you have half the time. Ashley, Ella, Anthony.
Yep.
Christine's 3 kids.
Yes.
And then that's not it for you, though.
Now we have new baby Kevin.
Hey.
New baby Kevin, that
Yeah.
is yours and Anthony's.
Who
Yeah.
we've chatted about already
Yes,
on the
we've mentioned-
podcast.
Yeah, we've
His
mentioned
name
Kevin.
comes up.
How old is Kevin now?
Kevin is 8 months.
All right.
Really quickly on that note, when you brought Kevin over for the first time, it was warmer out, and we both knew you were bringing him over, and you insisted on being the first person to hold him.
Yes. Well, that was the running joke. Remember
Yes.
when I was pregnant?
When you were pregnant, I wanted to hold that baby.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm waiting for you to pull up in the driveway, and this one sneaks out in the backyard,
Oh, he ran out.
ran out through the fence,
Yes.
and
He wanted
comes
to
in
beat you.
carrying him already.
Yes.
I was mad.
That was a little jealousy, right? Yeah.
Why? Wait, you were mad about that?
No,
That
I mean,
walked
not
in-
really mad, but
Oh.
I'm like, wow,
You did from the backyard.
you worked quick.
I remember that.
So how long have you and Anthony been together?
I met Anthony in 2014,
Okay.
but
And-
we didn't. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and then, so when did you guys get divorced?
So going back, Anthony and I have not been together for what's coming on 10 years.
Did Anthony have any other women, girls that that he ever brought and introduced to the kids? in
No,
between?
so what I was going to say is I got a text from him one day saying, I met someone and I want the kids to meet her and be around her, or maybe they met you already a few times, and then you wanted to meet me.
Ooh, why?
I think we just wanted an introduction. I mean, I knew she was going to be around my children. She knew she was going to be around them. So just a quick meet. And all we actually did was one day when you dropped them off, you were with them and she came up to the house. It was very quick.
It was quick, yeah.
I came to the door and she said hi. We introduced ourselves and I got a really good vibe. I mean, she's a great person.
All right.
You
She
know,
doesn't look too crazy.
Right.
Yeah. It was a quick, very informal thing. And then we really had no choice. We were at soccer games together, dance recitals. Like, we were always around each other. But it was more so just, hi, bye, how are you? Like, nothing really, no relationship there.
Now you guys
No.
have a very good kind of friendship
Yes.
/ working relationship thing. I mean, you guys have inside jokes. You guys have
Yes.
words that you guys use together, that I don't understand.
It went past that co-parenting
Yeah.
relationship. And I want to say, I think people can co-parent and do an awesome job with it and knock it out of the park. And you might not necessarily get to a level of friendship that we're at. I feel just lucky that it just did develop into that after more so for us.
Yes.
I mean, it's great for our kids, but we could have been great co-parents for our kids anyway. It kept going for us. And
Yeah.
No,
we became super close.
I'm trying to do the math here. The kids, Ashley and Ella, were how old when you met them?
I met the girls when they were 5 and Anthony was 2.
Okay. So they
Really little.
Really young.
Yeah, so they don't really know life without you.
No, this is pretty much all they know, which I think is a good thing because, if I came into their lives now, who knows what our relationship would have been like.
and there's no real book on how this is going to work. And then the thought came, oh, well, what if she gets super close to them and it doesn't work out? You know, what if he dates a bunch of people and there are a bunch of people in and out of their lives? So we've been super lucky that you've been that constant for them in their life this entire time.
Anything that ever was a issue between the two of you?
Christine and I.
Yes.
Yeah. if you wanna-
No, between you and
Well,
Anthony.
if you
Tell
wanna-
me everything that's ever gone wrong.
We could get juicy here. But
Well,
No, I mean,
talk
but-
about that because in the beginning we have said if you feel comfortable, it was tough.
yeah, it was difficult for me early on, the first few years, to navigate the situation because I met Anthony, remember, when I was younger. I was like 22 going on 23. Like it was really, and you know, I didn't think I would really end up with him or the kids because of the situation, because there was an ex-wife. And it had nothing to do with Christine on a personal level or anything that she did wrong or out of boundary or inappropriate ever, really. I just, at that point in my life, didn't understand the situation, how yours and Anthony's relationship had to work, then how my relationship with Anthony was going to work within the situation, and then how I'm supposed to interact with Christine. Like there were so many pieces, and the traditional relationship is just you and your boyfriend or you and your husband, you know, adding a whole nother person and kids is a lot. So I just didn't understand. So I took it upon myself to say, okay, I really need to get to know this person. And I wanted to get to know Christine not as an ex-wife. I wanted to get to know her as a person.
Did it bother you when we communicated on things that we had to, basically, about the kids?
I
Was
think that
tough?
I didn't understand the frequency. I said, wow, this is a lot.
This is so funny because it's what we battle with now, or not even now, maybe probably a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, was the frequency of like how much I would be texting my ex on about the kids or about the house or about this stuff to find out what your partner is comfortable with or whatever else.
Right.
But I mean, we deal with that same thing of like
Yes.
that.
We have
that-
dealt with that.
It's jealousy, but it's not jealousy, and it's
Yes.
just jealousy of. Or we always call it jealousy of time. Like
Or
I
you
don't like how
wanna-
much
Yeah.
time you're giving to that person.
Again, I was younger. I was so fixated on what's going on and what are you guys talking about and
Right.
how often. And it was, again, never inappropriate. It was totally
No.
valid and
Now I
things
would
I needed, but I just, it can make you feel insecure and you just question yourself.
anything that you did to get over it, or you just
Get to know Christine.
Okay.
That was the game changer. Once I got to know her on a personal level, not as the ex-wife, it was 100%.
I never knew that. Was that
Better.
something that you thought about and said, I have to try to do this? Or because
Yes.
I know the girls brought up the real change in our relationship was when the girls brought up wanting to have a girls' day because they love hanging out with Ryan. They obviously want to do things with me as well. So they said, oh, let's do nails, or what was the oh, no. They
the
just wanted to
beach,
spend
we
time
did.
together. We went to Corey Beach for the first time, which was really funny because
It was our first date.
yeah. We went to the beach and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be the four of us, the girls. But then we sat on our beach chairs and the girls were in the water. They were playing on the playground. It really left us
Yes.
time to sit and do nothing but chat.
Yes. Yeah.
We were
And
forced to like
I
get
did.
to know each other.
I felt good after that. But I remember being nervous going to that.
Absolutely.
And
mean,
then
fast
I
forward-
left feeling good.
fast forward to today, I would say that Christine communicates more when it comes to like schedule and the kids' activities and who has the kids and what days are switching with you
Yes.
more than she does with Anthony.
Yes.
And I just think that's because you kind of take care of the schedule in the house, I guess, or what, or is it
guess
just
so.
easier?
Roles have changed. Like I kind of had to figure out where I fit into the situation and what was appropriate and what Christine was comfortable with, because that's important too. The mom could be like, I'm talking to the father, I don't need to talk to you.
Right.
But luckily, because of our friendship, it just kind of turned into that. It wasn't intentional.
no.
Okay.
And I think women just,
We touched base, but it's very basic. And then as we became friends, if there was something that was going wrong or we were having a bad day or the kids were having a bad day, and I knew like they had a bad morning and they were going to you guys and we were talking about it, we could more vent and say, oh my gosh,
Right.
are you well?
Are you well or unwell?
And then if we're having an unwell day and super stressed,
Is that
she'll
all you
just
text
say-
each other?
she'll
Are you
just-
well?
Yeah, and she gave me a shirt that says
Unwell.
unwell. And if we're having a really bad day, she'll just be like, shut the shades. It's over. It's like we
Put on the
we have
shirt.
to just close it down and wake up and start tomorrow.
Yes.
Fresh.
We'll chat in the AM.
We will talk on the way to work
Wait, you
the way to
talk
work.
on the way to work now?
sometimes.
Sometimes.
No.
We've called each other just because.
I didn't
before.
realize. I'm
Yeah.
a little offended on how close your relationship is. I'm not getting calls on the
Now-
way to work.
Now we need to navigate that.
I'm calling Anthony. That's it.
All right.
Every time.
I guess my time is over. But
No, I'm calling Anthony. That's it.
all right. Anthony would answer.
Me and Anthony are gonna talk on his way to work.
The 5-minute drive.
The 5-minute drive. Listen, when it comes to Ashley, Ella, Anthony, do you have a favorite?
Oh my
Oh my God. Do I have a
gosh.
favorite?
I can't believe you're asking.
No, I think that, someone's either having a day or,
Yeah.
and then it switches. They just go through phases.
This is gonna be loud right now, and I just want to I just gotta.
But favorite, no.
All right.
No. Maybe on the day. Like, all right, you're behaving.
Yeah, you're helping me out here.
I forget who my
Yeah.
favorite was. I texted some.
Oh
I
my
texted,
goodness.
I texted them all something, and then only one of them responded. I want to say it was Ashley.
Ashley.
Texted back, so I was like, just texted. I was like, all right, well, this is you're my favorite.
Yes.
And
we
then
do that too. We're like, all right, today you're the favorite today.
Or his mom used to say, I hate you all equally.
Exactly.
when it comes to your kids with Kevin,
Oh,
how's that relationship?
great. They walk in the door and they literally fight over who can hold him
Yeah,
first.
they're obsessed.
I mean,
Anthony
really.
is probably the most obsessed.
Yes. Which I have to say, I thought the girls would be more so obsessed, if we're going to use that word, than Anthony. But once Kevin was born, Anthony really took on the big brother role.
Yeah,
And
and I
he
know he
never
wanted
had
a
that
boy.
role.
I know he wanted
Oh,
a
right.
boy, like, and have a little, a brother to
Yes.
play with. But I think even if it was a girl, he would have still been the same
The
exact
same
way.
100%.
way with her.
Yes.
I agree.
I think he just enjoys being the older sibling. I mean, he's been
Yes.
the little brother to two.
And I think it's made him mature a little bit too naturally, him having to take on that role. And it's been nice to see.
And
Yeah.
how are the kids in your house with regards to how everything is here? Do they ever talk about like living with me, Belle, James?
I think that our houses are not so different in terms of rules and stuff like that. If I had to guess, we don't really talk about it. But I think as people, we're pretty similar. So I can't imagine there's drastic changes from house to house.
From
No.
what
Sure,
I
there's
can
some,
tell, I think
but-
it's pretty consistent. But don't get it wrong; they will manipulate when they can on being
Oh, yes.
allowed to do certain
Right.
things. So if they are in a bad mood, I mean, we do have 2 teenagers. I have heard from the girls. Well, if I was with Dad, he would let me go.
Yes.
Those comments are tough, and
We've called each other on that.
yeah,
before
those
to talk
are
about
those
that.
are difficult because
No.
you know what they're doing and you understand it, but it hurts a little bit more than I think they realize
Yeah.
that it does. I don't think they're trying to hurt you, but it stings.
I think they do it more to you and Anthony. I don't think
Oh,
Jim and
then
I have
to-
come into
yeah.
play yet with that.
Well, so some of the benefits of having divorced parents would be that you could play one against the other, or with thing, especially when the divorce is not going well. The parents barely speak, or they're always mad at each other. The kid can kind of manipulate the situation. But truthfully, the 4 of us have no problem talking to each other.
Right.
So they can't really get away with too much because, I will say things. They'll ask me, for something, and I will say, listen, I'm okay with it, but you need to go call your mom. Or Ryan's picking you up at 4, so you need to
Right.
check that with Ryan and make sure that's okay. Or you need to call your dad. And then if they're not willing to, I might even give you a text, or Christina text, or Anthony text, heads up, Ashley wants to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and
they
know
can't
what's
really
going
get
on.
away with much because we're
No.
always communicating. And then if
Right.
there needs to be a consequence about something, and it happens to be when we're bringing them to you, that's tough because then it's in your house or vice versa.
Oh, we're having a little lunch issue, but we'll have to talk about that after.
We've had that before.
Well, I mean, we could talk about it now, but we've had it before. It's starting again.
Yeah.
So I have to find out what this kid wants to eat for lunch.
Yeah, found his chicken parm that you guys sent him.
Yeah. And do you believe it's like the night before we say, what do you want?
What do you want?
Right.
Pick
He
out your
wants that.
snacks.
And then like I
And
asked
then
him,
they do. I guess it's really more Anthony.
It's just him.
and then it was
Picks
just
it out.
the funny thing is I don't want the kids to have food in their room.
Me neither.
So they know not to have food in their room, and then on top of it, like we want him to eat his lunch. But yet he chooses to throw out his lunches in his room upstairs. So I'm like emptying the trash. I go, wow, it smells or like something.
he's hiding it.
And then like
You're not even sneaky about it though. I'm like,
right,
it's
that's
in
what
your
I mean.
room.
Like throw it out at school.
Throw it out in like the dumpster.
Yeah, go at the lunch period. Take it out of your backpack.
Yes.
Throw it out. We won't know,
Right?
But
I'd
no, he
rather
comes
that.
home and he puts it in his trash can in his room, and it's not like he can say like this is not mine. It's in a brown bag that
Right.
says Anthony on it.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to get better at this. Right? I mean, come on.
You think they'd be a little bit smarter about the way that they like hide things?
I mean, we were,
sometimes.
right?
I think so, but
think we
then
were, but-
maybe we got caught at his age, 10, 11 years old. You get caught with things, and then you get better at it as you get older.
Yeah,
and
I
now I'm
learned.
like a professional sneaker person.
Oh, boy.
She doesn't know how many cookies I ate today. I didn't eat any.
You didn't? God.
You'll never know.
Never know.
You'll never know.
Can we tell the story about when I first saw your mom on FaceTime?
Oh my God. Yes. Well, I think you both had a little bit of wine in you. Right?
Yes. Oh, her and I.
I don't know what occasion it was, but we were on FaceTime for some reason. And then my mom just saw her and she was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And at the same time, you were like, you're so beautiful.
And we just told each other.
I was like, wow.
FaceTime.
Just had a lot of wine. Just
Yeah.
decided
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
The wine was flowing.
But
But my mom does. She'll always compliment Christine to other people and say she's so,
Do your
nice and
do your parents, brothers, sisters, whatever else, consider Ashley, Ella, Anthony like their nieces and nephews or their grandkids or?
they consider that they'll say that they're their grandkids.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh, well, remember they were out and my kids asked them, what do we call you?
Yes.
This was before the wedding.
Yeah, they asked my mom. We were at the beach with them, and one of the girls said, well, what do you want us to call you? And my mom was kind of thrown off guard because she's never had to think of that before.
Yeah.
Because I, at that time, did not have Kevin. So she was kind of thinking about a grandparent name before having a biological grandkid.
Right.
So she had to think about it for a couple days. And then she got back to the kids, and her name is Nanny.
Okay. So
then
when they
my
say
dad-
nanny, that's your mom.
Nanny is my
Yeah.
mom.
Mom Connie or Grandma Connie
It's
is
Anthony's mom.
Anthony's mom.
Yes. And
what's
then they have,
what's Anthony's dad?
Papa Tony.
Papa Tony,
and Papa Beach is your dad.
Right.
Papa Beach, and then Mama Beach is
And
your.
my
No,
dad's
grandma.
Papa.
Just
They
grandma.
just do grandma. They don't do Mama Beach.
No,
No.
Oh, I didn't even
just
know.
grandma. And what's your dad?
My dad is a Papa too. So they have a lot
But
of
just
papas.
Papa, not Papa Kevin.
Right.
I guess they have 3 sets of grandparents then.
Well, and
8
your
years.
mom, but they don't call your mom. I don't know what they call your mom.
They don't call her anything right now. They don't.
one of
They-
those.
Like Ella comes
People
downstairs
do
and
that
hugs
all
her.
the
She's
time.
like,
All the time they
"Hi."
hug.
Yeah.
You know,
I
my kids don't call your mom. I say
Yeah.
this, call them Mr. and Mrs. Festa, and they just
Yeah.
they're like,
that guy's here.
yeah. Her dad popped by one day to fix something in the back. I was down here in the office. James was upstairs, and he just calls down. He goes, "Dad, that guy is here." I go,
That
I
guy.
was like, "What guy is here?" He's like, "I don't know. That guy that comes here sometimes for holidays." Can we mention what the plan is next year to like throw another wrench in our scheduling system?
Oh, sure.
All right. Looking at next school year,
Yes.
little Anthony is moving to middle school
Yep.
age or whatever else. So the plan is instead of girls and Anthony splitting half the time at your house, half the time here, the kids are now going to split a little bit.
Yes.
Little Anthony's going to
Yeah.
go to Rocky Point Middle School,
Yeah.
which is your guys' district, and he's going to go there 5 days a week in the sense of he's going to go be at your house 5 days a week.
Correct.
And then the girls, though, are still going to stay here at the Pat Med district, and they're going to be here 5 days a week.
Yep.
And then they'll still go to you on the weekend, one weekend, still go here on one weekends. But also, that's kind of why we did our dinner,
Yes.
is because that's the plan also, is to get together either once a week or every other week for a huge family dinner.
Yeah.
whatever else.
We're going to make it work.
But this was an idea that was thrown out there. And I will tell you, the first time it was brought up, Christine was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then
It was not a go.
yeah.
That's right.
And then a couple months
But
later,
I can understand that.
Going back and forth is tough, whether you are in the same town or not. Going back and forth between two homes, where I thought that might be more difficult when they were younger, it's actually getting more challenging as they're older.
yeah, they're not
in my
home
mind.
that often. Even like when they're like with us, I mean, they're
True.
constantly at sports or
We're just running around, Ubering, as all my friends that have kids this age, that's all we talk about. We just feel like we're constantly,
just driving.
we're
them
going to
friends'
work
houses
and then we're coming home and being an Uber, so to speak, for the kids.
Yeah.
After school, on the weekends. And that's just that stage that they are in.
You know, there's different benefits to the situation that's to come educationally and schedule wise.
Right.
For the kids and the adults.
Hold that thought. 2
Yes.
seconds. We're gonna reset cameras for 1 second. It's the longest one we've done.
I'm into it. Can we not stop?
It's going to be a huge change for everybody in all the houses, but I think everybody seems on board with it. Everybody's going to be good with it.
To me, he wants to have his dad as his coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's-
huge.
it's
Sorry,
huge.
So,
So
going to
that's
Rocky Point means his
really
dad gets to be his coach when he goes to high school.
Eventually,
And
in football, which they both love. Like we said a year ago or two, it was a hard no. And then it's just more conversations here and there. And yeah, communicating about it.
yeah,
See
and
how it
Over and
goes.
over again.
sometimes
yeah, if
there's thoughts and you kind of go like, you go absolutely not because like that sounds crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but then that's what our life has become is like this sounds crazy, but then you really do the math.
And we've always said we'll revisit it. So if we start something and obviously something isn't going well,
Obviously we feel this is working, like whatever for our kids. The kids are amazing, they're doing well, they're A students in school, they're excelling at everything they're doing. So this relationship between everybody is going well.
right.
How do you make that work? Like if you had to give advice.
You have to put the kids first and just think about obviously getting along for them, putting your own stuff aside.
We know how to talk to each other.
Yeah, and you've never overstepped. And I think that when you check in with that person and say, let me know if you feel like I'm overstepping, is like you're their mom and now she's coming into this role.
That's what I feel like
You
all the
know.
time though. Like that I'm like anxious about always is like, am I overstepping or am I like there are times that I don't know what my role is. And we kind of talked about it like with that dinner or whatever else. Like when the kids are in the house, I know like I'm their authority figure, like, like kind of person, but at the same time, I don't set the rules for your kids. Example, like I don't tell your kids when to go to bed. If they want to go to a party, if there's no scheduling piece, it's not me who's going to decide if they get to go to that party or not. That's a talk to your mom,
I
talk
will
to your
talk
dad.
to you and Anthony and check how you feel about it also. And then if it's something like going to a party or is maybe something new that they haven't done yet,
Yes.
I did touch base with Anthony. We were at little Anthony's football game and I said, hey, this is the situation. Do you feel comfortable with this? I'll pick
Yeah.
them up. They're not allowed to sleep over afterwards. And then he says, yes. And
Bigger
we go
events,
from there.
We go outside the house and communicate with you guys.
right.
Okay.
But the day-to-day things, we'll check in just with each other. Things that are like no big deal.
Yeah. like Linnea wants to come back to Rocky
right.
Point.
Yes.
You don't have to check in with
I
us
don't need
about
to ask
that.
Christine, can she, that's
no, no.
more like bigger events, like parties.
Can
and,
Gina sleep over tonight is not. you know.
Yes. Another piece of advice, you have to be flexible. It's hard to not have control all the time and just go off of your schedule.
Wait, what do you mean you don't have control?
You know, control it.
I'm always in control.
No, like we have to think of your schedule, Christine's schedule, Anthony's. I can't just go based off of Anthony and I,
Right.
And then in terms of discipline, I'm not yelling at them,
No, I'm not yelling, but so I sometimes like feel weird asking them to, hey, Anthony, throw on your shoes, come outside, help me rake the leaves. There's a piece of me that just kind of goes like, he could just say no, and like
then what's gonna
what? Yeah,
happen?
like what am I saying to no? And the good part is, though, none of the kids have ever said no to
Yeah.
anything. They've
They're
always
good
just kind
kids.
of.
They are. Overall, they help.
Yeah.
But does that make sense? Like,
They-
that's where if it was James or Belle, and I was like, hey, come outside, help me rake the leaves. And they were like, no, I don't feel like it. I'd be like, put your shoes on.
Right. Yeah.
Get
That's what
outside
we're
and rake the
doing right
leaves.
now.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. I think there's certain instances, like I'll be comfortable saying, hey, come help me do this, like bring in the groceries or something. And it's no problem. It never has been a problem. But if it's like, all right, someone is giving an attitude, major attitude, I'll say to Anthony, hey, listen, you might want to just go talk to them. Sometimes with the girls, I'm a girl. I'll handle certain situations
Yeah.
where Anthony maybe doesn't want to be involved with that one, you know, or I just think I'm just going to handle it.
And I
sometimes
think
it's both.
I think when you come back to it, it can be you could have insecurity as a mom, thinking, "Oh, she's going to be there for them in those moments." But you've just always respected that. You wrote me a beautiful letter
for the
before you got married, and you wrote the girls a beautiful letter about how you just want to be this extra person in their life that loves them, but we very much have our own separate roles. And the one thing that I think people can take from the situation is that, yes, they do have parents that are split, but they've gained two people that love them so much as well. So I really look at that as they're so lucky in that respect.
Well, listen, do you have your phone
I do.
to do this?
Oh, I do. I do.
Do you have your phone?
Over there.
Do you do your schedule on your phone?
I don't. I know you
Oh.
do. We had this conversation. You
Yeah,
guys are all
we have.
on
He's
calendar, right?
turned me
I've turned her into like.
And
doing
you
it
were
on
a paper person.
always.
Do you have? Well, do you?
Oh
have
my
your cal-
gosh, we didn't talk about our paper calendar that we would print out for the summer. We'd have arrows.
Yes. Color coding. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. On paper.
Wait, so you're saying when it came down to summertime, you had to do the schedule. Someone
Even Christmas break, everything.
Yeah,
you guys used to like have one
Print it
calendar,
out.
print it out,
Printed.
and like sit
color
down
code
and,
it with arrows.
You guys are such teachers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm still like that though. You've moved
I
on.
know.
well, I've
moved
turned her
on.
into how easy it is for you to see where I'm gonna be.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I can share my juggling show calendar with her, and she can't manipulate it or change it. Like she can just see it on the phone, and it's color coded. And then also she can add events to the calendar, so I know where the kids are at certain times, and it works. It works with me and my ex as well, because
Yeah.
we have like one shared,
Right.
kids calendar, so I get to see like, oh, they're going to a birthday party. It works to have that calendar, and then I also have a calendar with her, and keep all the daily stuff, and then also have my work calendar, and it's all in one little
Device.
That's so you though, Jim. You're like all about the tech and
What are you talking about?
Oh,
I don't know. Look around.
for a basement podcast, this is what you got. Some people might just put down their phone and just everybody talks into it, and that's a sufficient
That's
podcast.
what I thought it was going to be.
No.
So maybe we'll get to that point
What?
with Ryan on the phone, but I don't want to push it. You have to be ready. It's not something that someone could push on someone else.
I love at this point right now. You don't think that your relationship is ready for the
I
shared
don't want to make her
for the
do anything
shared
she's not
digital-
comfortable with.
for a shared digital account.
Yeah.
We split
We'll
custody
have
of
to
the
talk about it over
kids.
the phone. Really hash it out.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
we have
I
to do the segment anyway because it's the
Oh,
podcast.
you do want to?
No, I do
okay.
want to do the segment. Ryan can just kind of
Okay.
go with us on this, but because to end every show we do the what the. Oh, I totally screwed it up.
was
Because we
it not-
do what the are we
we
doing
doing
next
next
week?
week?
Oh, I like that.
I know, and this is where
And
we're.
it's true. What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing next week?
Yeah,
Which is fun that you're here for
so-
this. Monday, you're coaching in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
working. Kids are with you.
Yep.
Who's picking up on Monday after school?
Monday is me.
You're picking up 4 o'clock.
Tomorrow.
Where's Kevin on Mondays?
He is with my grandmother.
Okay.
So, but she'll meet me at work. I'll get
Oh,
him.
that's right.
And I will come here because Anthony has Infinity tomorrow
What time?
at 5:30.
5:30.
Okay. So you'll come here before 5:30 at some point.
Yes.
Tuesday, date night, Lulu's night, possibly the last Lulu's night. We'll get to
Oh
that
my
one day.
gosh. That's an
What did you just
episode.
say? Last Lulu's?
They're closing,
Oh,
changing ownership.
that's like your spot.
I know.
That's I joke with Christine. I say, if you guys were ever missing, I would go to Lulu's.
She has a whole little series, actually. Oh, you have to. You have to.
I did
her.
video
Oh,
her. Yep.
Wednesday, Anthony's band concert.
I didn't tell you about that.
See, what are we doing?
Anthony has a band concert at 6:30 on
So-
Wednesday.
6:30 on Wednesday.
You're free.
Yeah.
If you're free. Does Anthony know?
No.
Okay. Here we are.
Sorry.
Thursday we got nothing on the calendar. What were we saying that we might do?
Well, they might book Infinity.
Oh, on Thursday. But I found that it's going on Fridays.
It depends.
All right. Anyway, my kids are here Wednesday and Thursday. Ryan, are you watching my kids? No, I'm kidding.
Now they're coming to our house.
Yeah. They're
Who,
coming to your house
who
for
has
dinner
Kevin
soon.
on Wednesday?
Wednesday, Anthony's mom.
And then Thursday.
He's at a sitter Thursday, Friday.
So you're all over the place with this.
Kevin
Yeah.
is
Can you
bouncing
imagine?
around.
All right, great.
Not really a busy week.
No, it's not. Just coming off the holidays, I guess that's maybe a good thing.
We're going to run out of time here.
Yeah.
But listen,
this
I
is
got to ask
long.
at your house, holidays, stockings, before or after presents?
Before.
Thank you.
Oh, that's an
So
argument.
it's different.
Not an argument,
from
just-
them.
Debate.
It's different for them at the two different houses they go to.
So we always have them Christmas Eve. We never have them Christmas Day because Anthony's family is a big Christmas Eve family
Yeah.
and Christine's is Christmas.
Yeah. So when they went there, they opened the stockings and then their gifts.
Yes.
And then when they woke up here,
That's what my
They
kids
did
have
their
always done their whole
gifts.
life. And I've done my entire life. I never knew of a thing that
Me
you
too.
did stockings after.
I didn't either.
Never even heard about it. And we brought it up and I was like shocked. And I was like, no
at my
one
face.
else does it. And then she put it out to her work group. And I swear it was like the arguments back and forth of how
was-
many people are like, no, it's like dessert. You do it after.
Really?
No, it's like an appetizer.
I had never ever heard of anyone doing stockings first.
And I've never heard of after.
It's
Crazy.
like you do your presents and then it's you're still excited because they're stockings.
No, you do the stockings like as mom and dad are like rubbing their eyes. Just like open your stockings quick. You know, kind of,
It's like a little taste.
yeah. It's a little pre-show.
It's just funny how shocked we both were that I've never before you heard of anyone opening them first in my entire life.
And
just
now until
never
you,
came
I've
up.
never heard of after.
Well, I mean, there's so
Right.
many of those things. There's things that you learn in your life or that you teach yourself. No one shows you. Like when you shower, no one kind of tells you like how to stand, I guess. Like, and I found out that some people face more towards the shower head and some people face more away from the shower head for the majority of your shower. I may face away. That just beats on my back while I'm, either soaping
how I
up or
stand.
whatever else. It's on my back. But there's some people that let it just fall on their chest the entire time, or they're like throw their face underneath the water for their entire shower.
You've met someone like that?
Todd. Only because Todd wanted to be mentioned on the podcast. I have no idea how he takes a shower.
We
but,
love Todd.
but he wanted to be mentioned. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God. And all right, I'm gonna end on this.
Okay.
Really quick, and I think the cameras might shut off. And
Yeah.
if we don't get it, we don't get it, or whatever else. We made dinner the other night. So, all right. So the night that you guys didn't come over for dinner because Anthony wasn't feeling well, I cooked up one of the steaks because there wasn't going to be as many people, and then cooked up just one thing of rice and a little bit of broccoli. But then I didn't realize they had friends over that were eating. I actually want to get this on camera, and that camera just turned off. So
Okay.
give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us. What I was gonna say though, goes back to the Alexa thing. Is so the kids all ate up all the dinner.
Oh, now I know what the story is.
And we were like, all right, well, there's no food, so let's go out and eat. We'll leave them here. We went to Lulu's. Grab a
course.
quick bite to eat. In our house, if you go like, Alexa, make announcement, dinner time. And our entire house, it'll say whatever you say right throughout the house. And there's probably 14 Alexas throughout the house, and it announces it on every single one of them. What it also announces is, if you look at my watch right now, it says, say dinner time on my watch, because I get the announcements to my watch. I don't think they know that. And we were sitting in Lulu's, and we get a text, or I get a message on my watch, and I took a picture of it. From the boys' room was the message like sent out from, and it says, turn it off now, otherwise I'm telling mom, and you're going to be grounded for years.
Years.
Years. like that.
No,
Like,
we see it.
like, and we're just sitting in Lulu's, and we're like, oh, maybe we should get going home soon. Like,
They're blasting music.
Somebody's fighting.
yeah. Ryan, will you come back, hang out with us again?
Of course. We
Thanks
have a
so
lot
much.
of things to talk about.
I know.
feel
We were
like.
sitting
There's
here.
so
We
much.
This
sat
was
here
went
for over an hour.
really long.
Yeah.
No.
And
gonna
it's
be-
not even a stitch in our life, you know? There's
right.
so much.
Come back. We'll do it again.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Peace out.